Somewhere between your first paycheck and now, your spending grew right alongside your income, and you probably didn't even notice it happening. That's not an accident. That's a specific trap, and it's quietly keeping more people broke than almost anything else. Welcome back, Aluxer, to the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Lifestyle inflation is the single most invisible way people sabotage their own wealth. It doesn't feel like overspending. It feels like normal progress. Today we're breaking down exactly how it works, why it's so dangerous, and how the wealthy avoid falling into it.
Here's the mechanism. Every time income goes up, spending quietly expands to fill the new space. A raise becomes a nicer apartment. A bonus becomes a nicer car. A promotion becomes a subscription list that somehow triples in size. None of these decisions feel reckless in the moment. Each one feels earned, deserved, reasonable. That's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to sabotage their financial future. It happens one small, completely justifiable upgrade at a time, until years later the gap between what someone earns and what they actually keep hasn't widened at all. It's just moved with them, permanently out of reach.
The wealthy understand something most people never get taught. The goal isn't to spend in proportion to your income. It's to keep the gap between the two growing wider every single year, regardless of how much the income itself grows. That gap, not the income number, is what actually determines whether someone builds real wealth or just looks wealthy. Here's where it gets even sneakier. Lifestyle inflation doesn't just eat extra income. It actively raises the baseline cost of staying alive. A bigger apartment means a bigger security deposit, more furniture, higher utilities.
A nicer car means more expensive insurance, more expensive maintenance, more expensive everything downstream. Each upgrade doesn't just cost money once, it costs money forever, quietly raising the amount of income required just to maintain the current version of life. This is why so many people who look successful on paper are actually one missed paycheck away from serious trouble. Their income went up. Their perceived need for money went up right alongside it, dollar for dollar, sometimes faster. The number in their bank account got bigger, but their actual margin, the buffer between what they need and what they have, never improved at all.
Social comparison makes this dramatically worse. It's hard to notice your own lifestyle creeping upward when everyone around you is creeping at the same pace. The new restaurant, the new trip, the new gadget, none of it feels excessive because it matches what everyone else in your circle is doing, which means the entire baseline of normal spending quietly rises for an entire social group at once, and nobody in it feels like they're doing anything unusual. So what actually breaks the pattern? The people who avoid lifestyle inflation do one specific thing differently. They decide in advance, before the raise or bonus even arrives, exactly what percentage of any new income will go straight into savings or investments, untouched, before lifestyle has a chance to claim it. This isn't willpower in the moment. It's a decision made ahead of time, which is a completely different and far more reliable mechanism.
They also separate wants from upgrades. A nicer version of something you already have isn't automatically a want worth pursuing just because you can now technically afford it. The wealthy ask a sharper question. Does this upgrade meaningfully improve my life, or does it just meaningfully improve how my life looks to other people? Those are very different purchases, even when they cost the exact same amount. They revisit their fixed costs periodically instead of letting them silently expand. Subscriptions, memberships, recurring services, these accumulate quietly over years, and almost nobody audits them regularly. A once-a-year review of every recurring charge is one of the simplest, least exciting habits that consistently separates people who build wealth from people who just think they're managing their money well.
And critically, they measure progress by net worth, not by lifestyle. Someone who earns more but saves the same percentage every single year, redirecting the increase into appreciating assets instead of new expenses, ends up in a fundamentally different financial position a decade later than someone who let every raise simply become a nicer version of the same paycheck-to-paycheck life. The uncomfortable truth is that lifestyle inflation feels like success while it's happening. It's only years later, looking back at an income that tripled while the actual net worth barely moved, that the cost becomes obvious. By then, the habits are deeply built in, and unwinding them is far harder than never letting them form in the first place.
So there it is, the quiet mechanism that convinces smart, hardworking people they're doing better every year, while their actual financial position stays exactly where it started.